Hey everybody, it's Miss Anchorage coming at you live from the floor of my apartment, actually. So you'll notice I'm not there today. It is because I am away in Scotland looking for the Loch Ness Monster. I will update you guys on my journey, but fingers crossed I'll be back tomorrow. But while I am gone, you'll have a couple of things to do, and the first is to look at the RACE model for constructed response writing. This is probably something you've heard of before, but we still got to hit it in just a review fashion. So the RACE model is a way to answer short answer constructed response question. Miss Anchorage, what is constructed response? I'm so glad you asked. It is just a paragraph response to a question. So we're not looking for one word. We're not looking for one or two sentences. We are looking for one spicy paragraph. So R.A.C.E stands for restate, answer, cite, and explain. All right, so we're going to hit each one of these one by one pretty quickly, so you got time to finish your assignment. So the first R stands for restate the question. This means that you're going to restate or reword the question so that it is turned into a statement. This means that you'll have a pretty good introduction to your paragraph. You won't just jump right into an answer. So, for example, if our question is, what are some ways students can stop bullying in their school? We could restate that question to say, there are several things students can do to help stop bullying in their school. All we did was switch a few words around and change that question mark to a period. So after you have restated your question, you're ready for the A in RACE, which is to answer the question. Now, this might seem pretty self-explanatory, but you are just going to answer all parts of the question. Now, be sure to read the question carefully because sometimes they might slide different questions all in one. You're going to want to answer all parts of that one question. So keeping with our example question, what are some ways students can help stop bullying in their school? To answer it, you could say students can participate in a see something, say something program. So we answered the question. That one's pretty simple to do. So we've restated, we've answered, and now we're going to look at citing. Cite the text. So when you cite the text, you're going to use direct evidence and direct examples from the text. This means quotations. You're going to be using some quotation marks and quotes from the book. As you're kind of like getting into the mood of writing it, as you start to cite the text, you can use these sentence starters to help you out. So like on page 2, or the article states, or the book states, or the author says, yada, yada, yada. Anything like that is going to introduce your quote so you're not just plopping it in the middle of a paragraph where it makes no sense. Okay, so for example, if we are going to cite evidence from an article to answer our bullying question, we could say, on page 2, the article states that See Something, Say Something programs give students an opportunity to anonymously report bullying, end quote. Now notice we have a little lead in on page 2, and we also have 2 quotation marks, a beginning and an ending, all right? Now next up, and really last, you're going to explain your evidence. So we're on the E of RACE. So you're just going to explain how your evidence supports your answer. Why did you use the quote that you chose? So same thing, you can use some of these student starters to help you get started. So this, blah, 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 blah. This shows that, blah, 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 blah. This means, blah, 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 blah. For example, blah, 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 blah. And that's going to get you going on explaining your evidence correctly. Now, this can get tricky because sometimes people say they explain their evidence, but all they do is put their quote in their own words. That's not correct. That's paraphrasing. We need an explanation, all right? So if we return to our evidence for bullying, that was on page 2, the article states that See Something, Say Something programs give students an opportunity to anonymously report bullying. We could explain this quote by saying, this shows that students are willing to report bullying on the proper platform, all right? We didn't just reword the quote. We showed what it means, okay? Your last step in the RACE model is just to put all of this together, your R, your A, your C, and your E. And look at that. We have one awesome response to the question, what are some ways students can help stop bullying in school? Now let's count our sentences. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is only 4 sentences. Is that even a complete paragraph? No. So what do we do to beef up this paragraph a little bit more? Well, you are going to repeat the cite and explain steps multiple times. So you can cite multiple quotes and cite multiple sources and explain them to give your paragraph more meat. So this red part at the end, we cited another quote and we explained another quote. The author also states that, quote, students can speak out against bullying when it happens, end quote. This allows students to defend their friends and peers. Now, if we count our sentences again, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's more into the realm of what we are looking for, all right? So, your turn. Today, when I cut you loose, you are going to answer the following question using the R.A.C.E model. Your paragraph response should be at least 6 to 10 sentences and should include 2 to 3 pieces of evidence or quotes from the novel. And then there are none, all right? You're going to write your response on Google Doc and then attach it and turn it in on Google Classroom. You'll see it when you press the classwork tab. You'll see exactly where to go. So the question is, several characters have been murdered so far, and the remaining characters believe it is only a matter of time before they are murdered too. Of all the guests left on Indian Island, which one deserves the most sympathy? Explain your answer using specific evidence or quotes from the text, all right? So remember, sympathy, opposite of, or really in that same realm of empathy and apathy. Sympathy means you feel bad for them. So which one of these characters that are left on the island should you feel bad for? We just lost Mr. Rogers, so that leaves Emily Brent, Vera, you have Philip Lombard, Dr. Armstrong, Mr. Bloor, and Justice Wargrave. Those are the people that are left. So you might want to consider their suspicious pasts. You might want to consider their actions so far in the book. How do they treat other people? Have they shown any remorse? Why or why not? Yada, yada, yada. Just some stuff that you can consider. All right, and that is it for the R.A.C.E race model for answering short answer, 1 paragraph questions. If you got any questions, email me, let me know. I should have my computer or my phone on me all day today. So just let me know, and we can work this out together. This is due today, all right? You have the full 90 minutes to do it, so we shouldn't be just sitting there twiddling our thumbs. If you don't turn anything in, I'm going to know you were just sitting there doing what you weren't supposed to be doing, all right? So make sure you finish it. Turn it in. If you finish early, read more in your independent reading book, make up some missing work, and I shall see you on the morrow, my dears. All right.